Good evening, Mr. Bigglesworth. Would you like to say hello to everybody on my YouTube channel? No? You're just going to stay there and be cute? Oh. Oh, well. Good evening, folks. Matt M. Roy back once again. Back to you with another live stream thing. I know you guys seem to love these, so we're going to continue to do them. What's that noise? The heck is that noise? You hear that? I think it's coming from that, my brand new humidifier. That's right. I got a brand new humidifier for the room, for my room, the man cave, mainly because my skin is extremely dry all of a sudden. Ever since the the first day we put the heat on, it has just been crazy dry. We're going to give this a couple more minutes, so we're going to talk about the main topic I want to discuss here, but I'm going to wait for everybody to get here. Got 11 watchers and 3 likes. That is awesome. I'm just watching a Lamar Wilson video. You guys may or may not know who he is. He's a pretty successful YouTuber. He does mostly product reviews, and I think he's out of California somewhere. Well, he had just reviewed what is probably the most useless thing that Amazon has ever created. And it's an Amazon Basics product, so I know Amazon created it. This is the voice-activated microwave. And when I say voice-activated, there's a caveat to that. It only works through the Alexa app. So basically, if you have an Alexa-enabled device, so if you have the Alexa app on your smartphone, or you have a Kindle with Alexa on it, you can connect it to the microwave and say something like, microwave 3 ounces of popcorn. And he did that, and it automatically set the time. Or microwave, boil a mug of water, and it'll do that. Now, that is cool. I have to admit, that is pretty cool that it can do that. But can you think of a more useless thing? I mean, think about it logically. You have to be there to put that thing in your microwave, whatever it is. You're heating up water, you're making soup, you're making popcorn. You have to be there. So what is the point in having a microwave that is voice activated? And yeah, I mean, you might have the argument there. Oh, well, what if you're on the other side of the room and you have something in a microwave, you forgot to turn it on, you could just tell your phone to do that. Well, I'm sorry. If that's the case, then you are a lazy person and you shouldn't be even using a microwave. Get someone else to cook your meals for you. Unbelievable. Amazon, if you see this in my video, and I hope you do, pull that off. I mean, come on. And it's not even like it's that expensive. It's let me see. He put a link to it. It's $60. So I mean, maybe a gag gift at the most, but that is like the most pathetic thing I've ever seen in my life. Unbelievable. Really, I guess they must be grasping at straws on things to do with Alexa. Next, maybe they'll have a Alexa-enabled, voice-activated refrigerator. They'll open the refrigerator door for you when you're not in the room, so you effectively chill your entire house and waste a whole bunch of electricity. I don't know. Things are just getting really stupid right now. Oh, yeah, a lot of people know Lamar Wilson. Another thing, I have been trying to upload this vlog. I did a vlog over the past 2 days. I mentioned it yesterday in the live stream, and I don't know what in the world is happening. I just started uploading it about an hour ago. It got up to 76% and then just froze. And it actually says, and I'll show you guys. I don't know if it can focus on this or not. Let's see. No, it might be too bright. I'll have to just tell you. It says 76%, and 55 seconds remaining. It's been saying that for like the past half an hour or so. I'll have to see if it opens, if it uploads overnight. If not, then I'll just cancel it and re-upload it probably tomorrow. Yeah, it can't focus. It's too bright of a screen there. But we'll see. I'll let you know towards the end of the live stream if it does indeed focus. Lighting is a little bit different in my room right now. I am suffering with a major sinus headache, so I don't have my overhead light on, but I do have the fluorescent light in front of me that's on top of my computer desk. It seems to be doing a pretty good job. I mean, you can't see much in the background, but the foreground here in my face is, hey, that's what's most important, to see this ugly mug here, right? I can't. I have such a headache right now. If I turn that other light on, I wouldn't be able to even focus on anything. All right, so what I wanted to talk about last night, I would say around 11:30, 12, when I was getting ready for bed. I was actually in bed, half asleep. I had the stereo playing in the background, listening to some nice smooth jazz, smoothjazz.com, Florida, with the smooth waves of music. I was laying down, sleeping so peacefully. Then all of a sudden I heard bang, 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 like about 5 or 6 of them. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? I got up, looked outside, couldn't really see anything. And I'm like, you know what? I really don't care. I'm just going back to bed. Because at that point, I was at literally half asleep. At first, I kind of thought it was a dream. So I go to bed. You know, I don't think anything else of it. Then I wake up in the morning, and like I do every morning, the first thing I do is check my social media. And sure enough, on the Nextdoor app, somebody had made the comment about it. They were in my neighborhood, or actually it was, I think, the surrounding neighborhood next to us, and they said, did anybody else hear those bangs last night? Well, I had originally thought maybe it was thunder. Come to find out, the police were actually chasing somebody last night in our neighborhood. One of the sergeants had commented on the Nextdoor app and said that I guess they caught the perpetrator, but it was kind of like a shootout type thing. And I'm like, oh boy, it's amazing to me how dangerous our area is becoming. And when we first moved here, you could do anything at night. You could walk outside, enjoy the stars, have a tailgate party. You know, we had block parties going on all the time. Now at night, it's hardly safe to be outside. And it's very sad that it's come to that. And unfortunately, a lot of this is gang related. But luckily, that's all it was. I had thought in the back of my head, I said, you know what? I wonder if this is gunshots. And that's actually what it was. So don't worry. I'm safe. Mom's safe. We're all safe. I don't know about the cops are safe. I'm not sure about the people there, the person or persons that they were shooting at. Hopefully they're safe, but at the very least they're in custody for whatever reason. And they wouldn't elaborate on it. They couldn't say, because it's like an ongoing investigation thing, but they did say that there was a shootout last night. Let's see what we got going on here. I'm trying. Yeah, it looks like Adam Whitaker's having issues with that 6600. Honestly, I would probably just replace that card. You've done enough work to that. I would just cut my losses and go with something else. I don't have too many people. I got 14 watchers, 6 likes. That's awesome. I'm sure we're going to get a whole bunch of people in here in a few minutes. It usually seems to be that way. Start off with about 14 watchers, and it goes up to 25 or 30 as time goes on. Well, in the meantime, I do have some pickups for you today. I know you guys enjoy those. You saw the first one there, my little $10 dual tank infrared, I guess, I don't know, what do you call those things? Ultraviolet humidifier. And that was a great deal. That thing's working great. Hopefully it helps me sleep better, too. Mom and I walked the mall twice today to get our steps in. And the second time around, we went in. Oh no! Look where we went. Ah! I know we're not supposed to be going in there, right? But I was only going to walk in there. But when I was walking, I could not resist getting these. These are. Let me see what size these are. 9.2 ounce candles. These are Glade, I think. The things are, yeah, these are Glade autumn candles. These kind of have a pumpkin smell to them. Really, really nice. I got two of them. They're the same. And they were $7.49 on clearance for $3.79. Come on, focus, focus. Yeah, I'm going to turn the light off just for a second. There you go. So basically about half price there. So that was actually a pretty good deal. Let me turn the light back on so you can see my face. And, you know, I'm not usually shopping in Target. I know I've talked a lot about this in the past, mainly because of their bathroom policy. But the way I look at it, this is on clearance, so they're not actually making any money on this anyway. I'm not going to go in there and buy a whole bunch of stuff, but I love the smell of those candles. You know, I burn candles at night all the time, and at the end of the day, I just want something that smells nice and helps me go to sleep. Yes, I know. I went to Target. Shame on me. Shame on me, right? Oh boy, we got 17 watchers, 6 likes. Nice, nice. We'll see if we can get up a little bit more than that. Then continue with the pickups for today. I couldn't resist going into my local FYE, same mall, and picked up 2 really, really nice vinyl albums. And these are really cool. These are Disney releases. First one is the Little Mermaid soundtrack. You guys can see it right there. These are imprinted albums. I forget what you actually call them, but it's where they actually picture albums. Picture albums. You can see, isn't that really cool? You got Ursula the Sea Witch on the back side, and then you have Ariel on the front there. It says The Little Mermaid. And these are playable. This is not a cover. This is the actual record. If you look close, you can actually see up there, you can see the grooves in the record where you play it. I will say that these don't always sound the greatest. It depends on how they were pressed. I have played these and they actually do sound really good. So whoever pressed them did a really good job. This one was a Little Mermaid. I picked this one up. You can see originally it was $24.99. And I picked it up for $19 on sale. I know that the camera just cannot focus. Yeah, $19.99. So I got that for $5 off. I believe it was a lot more than that originally, though. Originally, I think that this was about $45 there from what I was reading online. And next, I picked up the Lion King. Right there. Oh, don't you love that artwork? I mean, that's totally awesome. That was originally $44.99, so $45. And I wound up getting this one for $24.99 on special. So basically, both these were discounted, and I got a further 25% off the Little Mermaid one. So I got out of there paying about, I think it was like $47.70 for both of these vinyl records. Now this one is really cool. You can see on the front side you have the Lion King, where you can see the baboon holding Simba as a baby there. Really, really, really cool. And then on the other side, this is side B. You can see Simba as an adult with Nala, and then Pumbaa, Timon and Pumbaa, and I can't remember the bad lion's name. I'm sorry, I'm bad with names, but it even has the actual information printed on there. Excuse me for a second. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I had to send my message to certain people screaming at the top of their lungs. But I digress. So again, great deal on these vinyls. And then again, you can actually see the grooves in there. It's amazing. Love collecting vinyl when I can. They are so cool. Scar, thank you. I couldn't remember. I could not remember his name. Scar, and it came in these cool little plastic sleeve cases, and they actually have a little bar here that actually lets you close them and keep them closed. If I can do it without breaking it, see right there. Put the little flap under there, and I'll do the other one later. And oh, one other thing, I think you guys would be really cool to see. Rowan Atkinson was good in Lion King. Yeah, he was the voice of the bird, I think. Yeah, yeah. Not bad. $16 on Amazon. Hey, that's a great deal. When even with the discount, I paid about 20 for that one. I try to give local businesses. I realize I can get them cheaper online. Don't get me wrong. I know that for a fact, but I try to give our local businesses some money and my business because the malls are doing so bad. If I have to pay a few more dollars to get it locally and keep a place like that in business, I will definitely do that. Normally, I agree with you. The colored and picture records usually do have a lower sound quality, but these actually sound really good. These are really good pressing. I would say these rival in sound quality my black records all day long. All right, so something else came in today. You guys can probably guess what it is just by reading the box there. Eagle Eye Auto Lamp. I got both of these. What this actually is, these are the rear lights for the PT Cruiser. So yes, I did wind up ordering them because the ones that we got, the ones that we had on there, they were so brittle. This piece up here was just broke off as soon as we tried to pull the light off. And these came with the bulbs installed. You can see the sockets right there. That one up there for the signal. And then this one down here is for the brake light. I think I paid $45 for these. And the reason I like these are manufactured a little differently. These actually have two clips that hold it onto the side. And basically there's a little guidance clip when you put them in. So basically when you put it in, this goes in first on top. And then you clip the two sides in. And then on the bottom, if you can see right there, that's where you screw it in. There's a little bolt right there. So these should technically sit better than the original ones. The original ones, for whatever reason, did not have clips in them at all. At least mine didn't. Mine, it was just being held on by this little guidance clip on top and then the one screw on the bottom. So these are definitely much better quality. And the other one should be the same. This is the driver's side. The other one's the passenger side. Interesting. Eric says the ones I ordered for the Envoy came taped together like those. LOL. Well, I think they're just trying to keep everything secure during shipping because even though these are new, this plastic is pretty cheap. I mean, this is not the greatest quality plastic. The original ones weren't either. I mean, the vehicle's only 10, 13 years old, and they were just brittle. I mean, literally, when we took them off, the top part, in other words, this little clip here, and then all the way down to where the bulb sits, the whole thing just broke right off. And we were being gentle when we took them off. So it's just time, and the elements do damage to them, unfortunately. Oh, I got you. Eric said that he meant both boxes were taped together. Yeah, I don't see why not. It would help save on shipping. I thought you meant these because these did have tape on them originally. I pulled it off when I took it out of the box. I didn't know if maybe you saw the residue on there or something. We're 18 watchers and 9 likes. That is awesome. And again, I apologize for the lack of lighting here, but it's just helping me out tremendously with my headache. There's nothing majorly wrong with the PT Cruiser. It's little things. Any vehicle you get for $500, you're going to have to put at least $1,000 in. I don't care what it is. It could be anything. Could be an old town car. I had a buddy of mine that got a Lincoln Town car he paid $600 for, and he thought he was only have to do a few jobs. It turned out it needed $2,500 worth of repairs. So I'm not upset at all. I knew realistically I was going to have to put at least $1,000, maybe $1,500 into this vehicle, and I was fully prepared to do that. And the cool thing is we're doing most of the smaller jobs ourselves. So really, it's not costing us all that much. As of right now, I maybe have $650, $700 into the PT Cruiser, and I know I have to put about another $700 or $800 in. Doing the timing belt and a few other odds and ends, but it's going to be a great vehicle. I know it. I love driving them, and it's going to be excellent for Amazon delivery driving. You could fit so much in the back of those things. Unreal. Eric Brunhammer said, I'm going to look at a 2004 Dodge Caravan from my mom, paying $250 for it. It needs a head gasket, but the body and interior look mostly mint. I think that's the one that's in my area. I can't wait to see that. I wish we could do the head gasket here, because I've actually always wanted to see a head gasket done. Maybe I could talk Dad into it. Yeah, we'll have to see. Hey, Chris Bartlett's here. Hey, Chris, how you doing? I know you missed the other one the other day. Finally made it. Like I said, I try to get all of these times straight, but a lot of people, it's hard. It's really hard because a lot of people don't understand Eastern Standard Time. If I start at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, there's actually an easy way to do that. You can just search, when is, say, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in Australia. That's the first one that comes up, and it'll tell you 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is 11 a.m. Friday in Australia, and you can do that for wherever you live. So just type in 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in so-and-so Canada or so-and-so England. It'll tell you exactly when I'm on. Chris Barlow said, I'm picking up my wife. She walked to the shops. Nothing wrong with shopping, though. You tend to overbuy sometimes. I know I do that all the time. I love to shop. My dad absolutely hates it, but I love it. Sonic Wang, I got a BMW for 650 New Zealand dollars. It only had to replace the window wipers and the brake lights and the CD player in the car. Did not work, but just used the USB port on the radio. Yeah, I mean, that's a good deal too, but that just kind of emphasizes my point. When you get a car sub $1,000 category, you're going to be putting money into it. I don't care. I did so much research before I went and bought that PT Cruiser, and like I said, no matter what, anything under $1,000, you're putting some money into it, really. Yeah, daylight savings time is another one because not everybody across the world uses that. We do. I really wish we didn't, because honestly, the only reason we use it here is to give kids a break in the mornings, so it's lighter for them in the mornings. But you know what? They can get over it. Us old timers, we could care less about daylight savings time. I386 says he doesn't know what he's going to do with AT&T. They claim it's the modem. I should get a new one tomorrow. It's possible. That's the first thing I would start. If they've run a test from their network to you and they can tell that there's good connectivity between their repeater station, wherever it is, and your physical connection, then the next logical step is to replace the modem. Now, if that doesn't fix the problem, then you got to look at your router, unless, of course, it's a gateway, a modem router combo. Once all that's completed, then it's got to be an issue with the computer. But yeah, they're doing the next logical step, definitely. What is the best episode of MASH? That's a really good question. Well, I think one of my favorites was the very last one, Hello, Goodbye, and Amen, I think they called it. But if you're talking about like like actual episodes, not like the finale or anything. There was an episode that they did in 1974, right before Trapper left and they got Honeycutt, called Adam's Ribs, where Hawkeye was so homesick. And somebody had mentioned, somebody came into the compound to, one of the soldiers said, "Oh yeah, I remember Chicago. We used to get these things, these ribs at this really good joint," and they figured out it was called Adam's Ribs. And basically, the whole episode was them trying to finagle getting those ribs to them at the MASH unit from Chicago. Well, to make a long story short, they finally. This is a spoiler alert, so if you don't want to hear the whole thing, turn away now. But suffice to say, towards the end, they finally got the ribs. They're about to sit down to this huge plate of delicious-looking pork ribs with beans on the side. They're about to take their first bite. Then all of a sudden, you hear on the loudspeaker, "Incoming wounded, everybody to post-op." And then Hawkeye's like, no, we had ribs. We had ribs. That is my favorite episode by far. Absolutely. Try watching Law and Order and the Roseanne Show tonight. No, I haven't been watching the Connors. I got to watch that on demand. I just haven't had the time. I gave up on Law and Order. It's just, if you're talking about Special Victims Unit, which I think is the only one that's still they're still making new episodes for, it's gone on too long. I mean, this is like the 18th season. It's just getting stupid at this point. Yeah, so the Connors hasn't actually started where Chris is, but you'll enjoy it. It's just missing something with Roseanne. They need to find a way to write her back in, and they can. Heck, they wrote John Goodman back in, Dan Connor, and they killed him off in the last episode of the original series. Oh, Home Improvement was so cool. I mean, Tim Taylor had to be like the dumbest person I've ever seen on TV, but it just worked. I mean, it made for so much funny television. Never watched Monk that much. I saw an episode or two, just really wasn't my thing. Well, my video is still uploading, and the vlog that I did for the last day is called "It Rain, Rain, and Wind Go Away." I have no idea why it's stuck at 76%. My internet's working fine, so I only can assume that the problem is on YouTube's end. We'll figure it out. Like I said, if it doesn't upload tonight, I'll go ahead and upload it tomorrow. But no rush, because you guys got this tonight. You can mull this over, and then you'll see some new content tomorrow. Eric Brunhammer says, "I watched a documentary on how Home Improvement came to be." I watched that same one. I'm pretty sure it is. I think it was done by like E! Entertainment or something. Tim Allen is actually a really good guy. Yes, he is. Tim Allen has overcome a lot in his life. He was actually a criminal. He got busted at the airport for being a runner of questionable material. Let's just say that. I don't want to say it because I don't want to get demonetized, but you guys can probably figure out what I'm talking about. And if not, you could search Tim Allen's criminal history. But he overcame all that and became a really good guy. And him as the voice of Buzz Lightyear makes me laugh every time. I like Family Guy, one of the raunchy cult classic cartoons. I actually like American Dad better, though. Really, I didn't know that about Fred Rogers. That's interesting. Anybody here like South Park or The Simpsons? This is Sonic Wang, by the way, and King of the Hill. I like King of the Hill. Do not like The Simpsons. Never did. I mean, they're good for an occasional laugh, but it really just wasn't my kind of humor. South Park is way too raunchy for me. Way too raunchy. You think Family Guy's bad? See a few episodes of South Park. It's about 10 times raunchier. King of the Hill is hilarious, in my opinion. It's kind of a dry, witless humor, but that's the kind of thing I like. And it's kind of convoluted. You really got to pay attention to some of the episodes, but really funny. And I like a lot of the British humor too, like the British comedies. You can look them up. Are You Being Served? Keeping Up Appearances. Last of the Summer Wine. There's a few other ones I really like. Waiting for God is another funny one. That's one with people in a retirement home and all the antics that they get up to. One thing that's interesting about British TV, if you notice, they usually have older people, whereas in America, we tend to favor the young when it comes to entertainment, actors and actresses. In England, they tend to put a emphasis on the older people. Like when you think about a lot of these shows, Keeping Up Appearances, Waiting for God, some others do Avon. A lot of these actors in there were in their 50s and 60s and even in their 70s when they started these shows. And honestly, they were still just as funny as if they were younger people. English humor is hilarious, definitely. I've never seen The Life of Brian. I want to see it. I kind of want to see it, and I kind of don't want to see it because being a Christian, it's a satire of the life of Jesus Christ, and it's a little sacrilegious. It's kind of a gray area for me. I love one of my favorite Monty Python movie is The Meaning of Life, which ironically is their last one. If you had never seen that, I highly recommend it. It is raunchy. Like all Monty Python stuff can be raunchy. The movie's even more so. But it is hilarious. I did like The Holy Grail, but not as much as The Meaning of Life. I honestly think The Meaning of Life was some of their best work. Classic Mobile Home thinks I'm mad. I'm not mad, but like I said, I can't get to everybody. It's just not possible. If I had 2 or 3 people here moderating this live, then I might be able to answer everybody's questions. And honestly, you don't ask me questions. If you want me to comment to what you're asking, ask me an actual question. I mean, don't just say a comment. I mean, there's nothing I can do with that. Yeah, Monty Python. Oddly enough, it seems like men prefer Monty Python over women. I guess it's just the type of humor. But like if I sat my mother down in front of a TV and have her watch Monty Python, she'd fall asleep in 5 minutes. She doesn't think any of it's funny at all. It is, Eric. I agree. It's very hard to keep up. He says that what happens is many people will make a comment while you're talking and many others come in at the same time. It's very hard. I have a list of 100 people here that I have to try and work through, and it's just impossible. So again, I apologize if I miss your comment. It's going to happen. It just is. 2.5 men. That's funny. I like it. It's something that I watch on a rainy day when there's nothing better to do. It's a late afternoon and we're just sitting in the living room. There's nothing better on TV. Do I go out of my way to watch it? No, I probably wouldn't. Excuse me. I need to take a sip of some water. Hope some of you guys took my recommendation and keep a jug of water next to you all day long. I shouldn't say all day long, especially at night, because during the day you're probably able to go to like water fountains or water coolers, but at night, especially like around this time, you want to drink a lot of water. Now, there's a caveat to that. If you tend to be the kind of person that needs to use the bathroom multiple times at night, ignore what I just said, but you really need to try to stay hydrated overnight. That actually helps kidney function. Okay, well, that's unfortunate, Classic Mobile Home. I have no ill will toward you. Like I said, I'm doing the best that I can. Actually, just subscribe to this channel. I really enjoy the your content. I do, honestly, but oh well. C'est la vie. Ruben says that's my homework. Drink a whole jug of water. That's good. You know, water is one of the best things you can do for your body. Now, during the morning time, I'll drink coffee, 2 or 3 cups. And when I say a cup, it's like 12 ounces. It's probably more equivalent to like 6 cups. And my body's used to that, so I can handle that kind of caffeine. That's the antioxidants. So basically, you're cleansing your body in the morning with the coffee, and then you're also cleansing it at night, drinking a lot of water. So you combine the two, you'll have a really clean system in no time. Eric says, surprisingly, Angus T. Jones became a Christian and ended up no longer wanting to be on the show. Yeah, I do remember that. I actually watched a biography where they said he grew up as a Christian and then fell away from the faith, went to Hollywood, did 2.5 Men, and then I guess started feeling guilty about what he did. So now he's returned to the faith. And I have immense respect for him. And I don't know if you know this, John Cryer, the one that played Alan, is also a Christian, supposedly. You know, I don't know how you can call yourself a Christian when you do a show like that, but you know what? You never know. People can always come back to the faith. Oh, okay. Well, thank you so much. So, Classic Mobile Home is on board. That is really good. I don't know. Chris Barlow said, anyone ever have a gallstone? My mom is 94 and she is having a big one. I have had kidney stones. It's very painful. I have personally never had a gallstone. My family, some of my family members have. I'm not going to name specific people, but I know they can be painful. That said person had actually had their gallbladder out later in life. One way to avoid, I'm telling you, one way to avoid kidney stones, water. Water will, if you drink enough water and stay hydrated, it's almost a guarantee that you will never get kidney stones. What actually happens is when you get dehydrated, the impurities, because your kidneys are like a filter, just like liver, they filter out all the impurities and they also create the urine. And what happens is when you're dehydrated, you have like a buildup of minerals, and that's what actually causes those stones, kidney stones, gallstones. So drink a lot of water, and you're almost guaranteed that you're not going to have to deal with stones, at least in your kidneys. In my relative's case, they just took the gallbladder out. She was having other issues. Flips May says, I would make YouTube videos, but I just don't have the time. If I did have time, I would make similar videos to UXW Bill since I enjoy computers and videos on cars. He does a great job. I notice he hasn't put a lot of content out recently, but that's fine. I know supposedly he was going to HVAC school for heating and air, and that should be interesting. You know, I have immense respect. He is extremely intelligent. Absolutely. Nick Roberts, anybody know of a way to get rid of acid reflux? It's annoying me. Yes, I know of a way, but you got to follow this to the letter. One of the best things I found for acid reflux is milk of magnesia. Basically, there's a twofold thing there that helps keep you regular and also gets rid of that reflux because it actually coats your stomach. You can take it up to 2 times a day, but I'd probably just do it once a day to start. The only caveat to that is you have to drink a lot because the magnesium itself can dehydrate you. So you need to go ahead and make sure you stay hydrated. Eric said, my mother had the 12th laparoscopic gallbladder surgery performed in New Jersey. I'm pretty sure that's kind of what my relative had done. Let me know later on how she's doing, by the way. Classic Mobile Home says, I have Bluetooth, and when I go back to auxiliary mode, I get blue screen of death. Interesting. I'm assuming if that's the case, it must be on a PC, because your Macs, you don't get blue screens of death. Could be an issue with the drivers. The first thing I would do is make sure all your drivers are up to date. The next thing, of course, let me step back. First thing you do is reboot the computer, and the next thing you do is go and make sure your drivers are updated, specifically your Bluetooth driver. If your Bluetooth driver is out of date, that can be causing that problem. Oh no, Flips May says his tobacco plant has been eaten by insects, unfortunately. Use that amazing tool, Google, and see, maybe take a picture of what's eating it. Use Google and try to find out what kind of pesticides you might be able to spray. Yeah, this time of year, I can't imagine it would be a big problem. Well, I guess it depends on where you live. I mean, around here, we're not growing anything because we're in our fall season now. California, yeah, I mean, I guess because of the weather out there. What part of California? Because you're in the northern part, it's going to start getting pretty cold. Classic Mobile Home says on a Lenovo desktop. Yeah, exactly what I just said. It's probably an issue with the Bluetooth driver. You can go to Lenovo's website directly, go to the support section, put in the model number of the desktop, and peruse down the screen for the Bluetooth driver. It'll show you. It'll actually should list them which one is the latest. The latest one should be the first driver listed. Download and install that and see if that fixes the problem. If not, you may just need to wait a few weeks, because if enough people experience that problem, then they'll release an updated driver, hopefully fairly soon. Ruben says, I did try to install Windows XP and got a blue screen of death, but I fixed it from I changed it from AHCI to ATA in SATA mode. Yeah, I don't think Windows XP is AHCI compatible. I think you almost have to use ATA mode. I think AHCI started in like Windows 7, if I'm not mistaken. Stephen Barber says, how do I get rid of shoulder pain? Out of nowhere, I got bad pain in my shoulder. Okay. I've had this problem, and at least in my case, it's caused by me being a side sleeper. So when I'm a side sleeper, I sleep like this with my arm under the pillow. So I'm putting pressure right on my shoulder. So the first thing you want to do is try to sleep on your back. That's the best way. Now, if you already sleep on your back and you still have the shoulder pain, you want to try going to a massage therapist. I'm not talking about a masseuse, like a fluff job. We're talking about a massage therapist, somebody that has been trained to work on those areas, because it's probably a muscular problem. Another thing you can try to do is get one of those wand massagers, like from Sharper Image, and work it out yourself. They basically allow you to get back there and work the muscle, because chances are 9 times out of 10, it's a muscular problem. Oh, excuse me, my eyes are very dry. Ah, okay. Classic Mobile Home, it said it didn't happen in Windows 8.1. I had Windows 8.1. It does not do it on Windows. It does. Okay, let me see if I can read that. Okay. Yeah, from what I'm gathering, it didn't do it on Windows 8.1, but it does it on Windows 10. So it could be an issue with the Windows 10 driver. Not going to change anything. Go to Lenovo's website, download the latest Bluetooth driver, see if that fixes the problem. That'll actually override Windows 10's Bluetooth driver, and chances are you'll be okay. Ah, Eric, love it. I got rid of a lot of issues on my laptop by switching to Linux. I also saved 50% or more on my car insurance by switching to Geico. I haven't done that myself. I probably should because I'm getting taken to the cleaners by my current insurance company, who shall remain nameless. State Farm. New reviews for noobs says bye going to play Fortnite. Don't stay up too late. I know people that will stay up all night playing that game, hence me not wanting to get into playing that game. Oh, Pradkins is having issues with the iPad mini. Get yourself a little Chromebook or something. I know people that stream that have my live streams on Chromebooks, and they don't seem to have any issues. I like the joke, Eric. Yeah, I have no problem with that. That's my kind of humor. PUBG, PUBG over Fortnite. I know Fortnite. I don't know the other one. Again, I am not a gamer at all. I mean, if you tell me about a game and ask me if I played it, if it's any modern game, I'll tell you no. Now, if it's something old like Commander Keen and Goodbye Galaxy, which is my personal favorite, or Wolfenstein 3D, or Blakestone Aliens of Gold, basically DOS games, I've played all those, and I still do to a certain extent. Matter of fact, I need to boot up my Dell XPS D233 because I was having some stiction issues with that hard drive, so I need to make sure that gets booted up. That just reminded me I'm going to do that as soon as I finish this live stream. Yes, I agree. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 is one of my favorites. Not my favorite, though. The second one, I think, was my absolute favorite. Ruben says, looked at Garage Shelf Finder page showing a Gateway computer, $85 iPad Mini 3, and a $40 iPad 2. I'd probably go with the iPad Mini 3. The iPad 2, even though it's still decent, is kind of antiquated now. You may have support issues with that. That'd be my recommendation. Flips may occasionally plays Quake 3 Arena and Quake 2. Love Quake 2, did not like Quake 3 Arena at all. Mainly because I'm a solo gamer, if I game. See, we're at 48 minutes. We're up to 21 watchers. This has been a light audience, but that's okay. You know what? We've had some interesting conversations here. I think we have, at least. Yeah, iPad 2 would not be a good option now, mainly again because it's what, about 8 years old now, or going on 8 years old, and I can get them pretty cheap. Let me look at something here. Wow. Okay, that's weird. There are like no iPads available in my area right now. Let me try that again. Maybe they do it under electronics because I guess it's technically a tablet, but it is a computer too. That's what it is. They're all listing them under tablets. Oh man, that's got to be a total scam right there. iPad Pro 12.9 inch Gen 1 with keyboard and pencil for $75. Comes with Apple Smart Keyboard, Apple Black cover, and Apple Pencil, all in great condition. Text at blah, 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 yahoo.com. Yeah, that is a total scam. You got to watch out for those. I mean, people are just so apt to scam you nowadays. It's unbelievable. If I'll be honest with you, if you're on Craigslist and a deal is too good to be true, it probably is. Who in their right mind is going to believe an iPad Pro, even a first gen, is only $80? That's a total scam. Yeah, I'm not sure, Steven. Don't worry about the dislikes. I'm not worried about it anymore. Matt Richardson. Matt, have you ever? Oh, hey, Matt, love that name, right? Have you ever owned one of those old surround processor units made for VHS? If they have good sound. I've never owned one. No, I've seen them before. I mean, I guess they would be okay. At this age, I'd be worried about quality, sound quality myself. Because believe it or not, the capacitors in them can fail, and I've seen them fail. Chris Bartlett, when I was here 30 minutes before you started, there was one dislike. That's just weird. I agree. I mean, you can't dislike something you haven't even seen yet. Interesting. Flips May says you can install Grady 004 on an iPad 1 for newer app store with zeros. I need to try that because I actually have a first gen iPad in the closet. I haven't had a chance to use it yet. I think it's just like the 16 gig model. Got it for like $10 at a garage sale. But I like my Android tablets. They seem to work just fine. Jonathan Grinnell said, had to send 200 Lenovo's back today due to motherboard issues. I am not surprised. We have had so many issues with Lenovo's recently, even in my neck of the woods. All right, tubers, I'm ending it here for tonight. I am getting very tired. We had a long day. Oh, before I do, I almost forgot. You guys got to remind me of these things sometimes. I'm going to give you guys a fitness update. Wasn't as great today. Did 23,389 steps. It's 11.81 miles at an average of 3.3 miles per hour and 1,503 calories burned. And that was a total of 3 hours and 34 minutes and 4 seconds of exercise time. So again, not too bad. Probably walk a little bit more tonight. I got to do some more laundry before I go to bed. So I might get 25,000 steps in today. Yeah, not bad. Awesome. So I'm glad I'm encouraging everybody out there that needs to, pretty much everybody. I'm not going to put that out there. I'm not going to say everybody that needs to lose weight. Everybody should be exercising. I hope I'm encouraging everybody to do so. Please continue to like and subscribe. Hopefully this vlog uploads before tomorrow. And as always, have a blessed day, everybody.